It's brought it to you. It's confusing as hell, but I mean.
No, it's not really confusing. I've read it about 4 or 5 times.
It's not even under our control at all. It's all.
Yeah, it's all down in the state, as long as it's controlled by the people, it's controlled by the other changes.
Well, in the millage, just the inside millage, like I was telling you, that kind of tells you about that. That's the only thing that we would get out of that.
It's a noise thing.
Yeah,
Because the levies are levies, they're not going to change.
correct. Well, they'll change based on the.
That's the mode that people selected to format.
Which will just reduce everybody's payments. We'll still get $1,000,000. We won't get any more unless we do a replacement. Because it can only be, whatever the level is.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we want to thank you so much, Lord, for this finally cooled down the temperature a little bit, Lord. We thank you for the seasons you've given us, and Lord, even subtle reminders that you kind of bring our way, like the changing of the leaves, to remind us to prepare for winter. And Lord, I just pray that today we would all remember that from day to day, sometimes we take for granted the family and friends and people around us. Lord, just send us some of those same subtle reminders that everything that we say and do, good or bad, is going to impact somebody around us. So we need to exercise wisdom in all we say and do. So Lord, we ask your blessing upon this meeting today. Give all these leaders today the wisdom they need and the means they need to accomplish their tasks from day to day. And we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
I'll get it. This is just a reminder for everybody to sign up. That is.
So if you're gonna speak, you make sure you sign up. Minutes. I have read 8:20, 24. I'm gonna make a motion that we approve them.
All in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Abstain.
Motion passed.
Agenda. Does anyone want to go to the agenda, the changes, the factors? Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor, Mike? Sue?
Yeah.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay, purchase orders. I will make a motion that we approve the purchase orders as presented.
Second.
All in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Abstain.
Motion passed.
Okay, I will make a motion that I have reviewed and signed the warrants. Approve them.
Second.
All in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Abstain.
Motion passed.
Okay, last public comment. Yeah, you gotta listen to us. So, okay. Safety concerns. So it's too cold out there.
So you get colder. Saturday's high of 60.
Okay, all is here. Okay, Lori, Chief Mosley will not be here.
Yeah, he did give me an update for his report.
Okay.
Yep, so I talked to Chief Mosley. He tries to be at all the meetings, but unfortunately, we had a conflict this morning with some training at the PD. He wanted to let everybody know that they just begun scheduling wellness visits for our officers as part of the previous approved wellness initiative RFQ that was approved by the board. They'll evaluate this program 12 months in to drive future decision making, but that is underway. Under new business, they have a date established for a Thanksgiving Philly Cruiser in November. As always, all donations received from the Philly Cruiser will go directly to the Brimfield Community Cupboard. Not noted on here, they will have once again, their hot dog sales to proceed the Brimfield Police Department K-9 unit at our Brimfield Police Department canopy during Brimfest, and officers dedicated to security throughout the event on Friday and Saturday. New this year, they are adding, this will be fun, there will be a dunk tank at Brimfest to dunk your favorite police officer. All proceeds collected from the dunk tank will go towards Shop with the Cop. So make sure you stop by their booth. That'll be a cool opportunity to raise some money for Shop with the Cop.
Well, he did not take.
The Hill Church did it last year and the water was a little dirty, so good luck.
You notice as the call about it, we went 14,469, 24, 22, it was 11,971 to get that number to call.
Yeah, year to date, those numbers are up for speed date.
Thanks, sir.
Yep.
Chief Blau?
Okay, just a couple updates. I did put under old business, which I did address with John yesterday, but since I had it on, I might as well just discuss it real quick, so the trustees understand. The ambulance purchase that was approved, 2 meetings ago, I'm still waiting for bank pre-approval. The bank will not loan a loan 3 years from now, and that's kind of understandable. They just wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do it on a house or to your own personal stuff. So I just need to figure out how to get the loan pre-approved for now. And I don't know if John, if you'd like to speak on that or.
Well, yeah, she sent an email to you and I and Kirsten approving it for a year. But she did state that it was, if nothing changed in our financials, it would be approved again. She just can't guarantee 3 years down the road when that ambulance comes in that Brimfield's levy failed and she's still approving it.
So let me ask you this, do I go ahead and get the
Yes.
purchase order together and just bring it to you then?
Because there's nothing else we're ever gonna be able to get. I mean, we got them committed. If we were buying it today, they would approve it.
The only other thing I was thinking, I'm just thinking out loud here, like if you go to Ford or something, you can finance through Ford. Would that be an option we want to look at or no, just go?
Well, any option you want.
I'm asking you financially, do you just want to do it this way?
She didn't even give me the rate. She just gave me a letter of approval.
Okay.
Because the rate's gonna change anyway.
Right, he's not gonna give us a number anyway.
I think we just need to earmark that and keep monitoring it.
Yep.
But because it's a 3-year wait, I think we wait too much longer, because we're already another month into waiting for 3 years.
So I'll go ahead and get the official
Yeah, I would send
purchase
it over.
order, bring it to you.
Yeah.
And it's already been approved, I just had a hiccup on the bank. So, and like I said, I understand from the bank standpoint. They're
What's the estimated cost?
not, 420 total. That'll include all the equipment I need, so.
What's we buying those other ambulances for?
I was just talking about that this morning. I think I was right around 240, 8 years ago, for the exact same,
We got some grants though to offset some of the costs too, right?
for one.
Okay.
Yeah, but the one I had to buy was right around 240,
10 years.
so 8 years ago,
It's probably $30,000.
so.
But yeah, so that's out there. Yeah, but so they've committed as long as we just don't, everything doesn't fall apart
Okay,
here.
so I will get that official purchase order, bring it to you. Okay, thank you. That was it under old business. Under new business, the firefighter, as you remember, I had 2 firefighters that left and went to Stowe, so I had 2 immediate openings. We sat back about 30 days ago and we're just gonna take anything we could get. Well, I ended up getting a lot turned in. I actually ended up with 23 firefighter medics that turned in applications, and then another 14 that were half trained. So for example, they had their fire card and they were only an EMT. So what we're gonna do right now is go ahead and test the 23 firefighter medics first, because that would be the immediate opening, and I'll follow up with you. But having 37 total is a pretty good number nowadays.
Are you looking at testing in the next couple of weeks?
Yes. I want to get the process moving. We probably would do a written test and then a physical test, and then interviews from there. So I'm hoping another month, I'll have a better look.
So when do you think you're ready?
I think I'll be close. I'll have a better look at, maybe narrow that 23 down to top 6 or so by then. And then go from there. And then the last thing is just gearing up for Brimfest, the parade, open house, spray house, sausage sales and fireworks. That's just our normal, and we'll be busy that Friday and Saturday. So we have our set of what we need to do, and that's it.
Great. Thank you. And
Oh yeah, just one item. So the meeting scheduled for today with Ulta Fiber, they reached out to be there formerly Cincinnati Bell. They have plans to run fiber into Brimfield Township to provide high-speed internet access to our residents. This introductory meeting will help them to understand community needs and expectations from us before the formal right-of-way applications are made. So Dave and Mike Ladd will also be participating in that meeting with me. One of their requests in this meeting was just to understand kind of the status of the internet. I've spoken to a few of you, and just I think overall concerns from residents and yourselves just being that currently I think people have slow internet access, might have troubles with issues with the access. If you guys have any other feedback to share with us that we could share with them today, I'd like to hear your comments just to be able to convey that information as well.
I just have a question, because where they're running all these lines on the lines already, isn't that Ohio Bell's? Well, AT&T, don't they control that, or how is Cincinnati Bell able to run a?
I have no idea. They just reached out for this introductory meeting, so I imagine that'll be part of the discussion today, but I really don't know anything.
Well, don't we have fiber?
Poles are owned by an independent.
So,
They rent sections of the pole.
Correct.
So like electrical get a section, Spectrum will get a section, so you can add more to the pole.
So that pole's not owned by Ohio, that's.
isn't that rapid?
My girl always calls.
Can
me,
be.
and it's
Doesn't
got a
always.
flag hanging on it, like she controls the pole. She doesn't control the pole.
Maybe it's within their jurisdiction of the pole, I don't know.
Don't we have, isn't there high-speed internet in town already? Do we have?
In certain areas, yes. There's AT&T fiber in certain areas, and then you've got Spectrum cable, but depending upon how far you are from your cabinet, the speed,
In the time of day.
yeah, I mean, certain areas have certain issues. Another thing that I know when I did my survey is how far your house sits off the road. If your house is, 100 feet off the road, they're not gonna run anything from the pole to your house. They want you to pay for it. And we have some residents that they don't have that money.
Are they committing to like running it all throughout Brimfield, or is that gonna be one of your questions today?
Yeah, they did not give me any more details than they just want to meet with us before they start the permitting process. So we'll be asking a lot of questions, getting information, and we can come back and share what we learned, but yeah, I don't know.
Because if they just run it in the same place that AT&T and Time Warner, it doesn't really help anybody in town. I mean, if they haven't run it out on Congress Lake and Old Forge and all that. Spectrum.
So is this gonna be a third provider in town then, essentially?
Again, I am not aware how many providers we have, so outside of
But this will be
AT&T
another provider.
and Spectrum, this would be a third one. I'm not sure if there's any others.
Will any of this
I would
be-
like to attend, yes.
Yeah, and I would like to ask also, or have you asked in the meeting, if it's gonna be underground or overhead
Sure.
runs? Because they've been doing some underground work, and Dave, you and I talked about how you got a hold of the county for that house in Sandy Lake. They've been doing underground work and they've been digging and then leaving open trenches. So a family member called, was concerned about it, reached out to the county. They never pulled permits with the county, so the county had no contact information either. So that whole underground excavation that was going down Talmadge Road, there was no permits pulled through the county. So then they had no follow-up because they didn't even know who to call, and it took us about a week to figure out the company. So I think we just need to make sure that they follow those rules too, if they're gonna be
Sure.
doing any underground work.
I do know that was specifically what they said. They wanted this meeting before they start all of the permitting and right-of-way applications and everything else.
So it'd be more than just Brimfield, they've gotta go to the county too.
Sure.
We're doing surrounding communities too, okay?
Yes, yeah, right now they're, when he emailed me, they're out in Kent and I think Solon and a couple other areas. They're running in all those areas, so we're just another area in the line that they're going through. Yeah, if you have anything, if you think of anything else, let us know, but we'll meet with them today. Joe, I'll invite you too, and we can let you know what they say. That's all I got, thank you.
So, more group, right?
Nope, thank you.
Okay, Mike.
Good, thanks. As you can see, the permit fees year to date is over $138,000 so far. First thing I have under old business is a resolution to approve the Ohio Enterprise Zone Agreement for real property only between Brimfield Township and Woolen Industries. And you guys should have a copy of the enterprise zone.
We have I will make a motion that we're.
Okay.
So you can go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
The Ohio Enterprise Zone Agreement, I would like to make a motion that we accept this. And we approve the agreement for real property only between Brimfield Township and Woolman Industries. There's a packet.
That's it.
So, anyway.
So we're just doing this for a little while.
Yes, right now. Yeah, we have it on several properties. That just today is this one.
Well, I'll second that.
Just for discussion, can you give us an update on the enterprise zone agreement?
Yeah, so this is an existing agreement that, when I came into place, the county, we researched it and found out that it's entirely for the whole township, and it's to attract certain type of businesses. It's usually manufacturing, engineering, things like that. In this case, it fell under that. It's a 10-year, 60% abatement for the company. After that, after those 10 years are up, we're working on a TIF from year 11 to 30.
Okay. How much of that do we need to read? It's very important.
You just need to pass the resolution. You don't just need to.
This will be in the minutes.
As presented, just adding the title.
Yeah, that's
In the motion as presented.
All those in favor, Mike? Yes. Sue?
yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed. So do we,
We-
probably this is the one we need to sign again, right? This
Yes,
one?
please.
Okay. Sure. Four, six. Christian, on this insert that resolution, you can just add it right there. It's already in the text.
Commissioners have to sign it too.
Yeah, they'll have to pass it. Yep, thanks. So new business, we had search warrants were obtained for Comfort Inn at 4423 State Route 43. We're obtaining the inspection reports from police, fire. Actually, police doesn't have to do the report, but fire, health, and building and myself, we're out there. So we're all doing those. They did obtain fire and health already, and zoning has theirs done. We're just waiting on building. Then I'll let you know what we're going to do with that after I meet with Brett. Dollar General has preliminary plans in the process to build on Talmadge Road next to the Brimfield Family Restaurant. I just received the plans this morning. They look good. Wolin Engineering continues site work for his new building on Mogador Road. We're currently working on a TIF for this project. That would, like I said, that would take us from 11 to 30 with that TIF. Private one apartment homes on Town Square Drive, finished grading and started utility work. Kind of tire construction status. Cable construction continues installing steel and masonry for the structure. Yeah, that's only, and the older one we were there said they were going to go right into phase 2 after this one's complete. So they're at 190. Yeah, this is phase 1. This is 192,000 square feet, and we're supposed to roll right into the next one, which is almost 200,000 square feet. So
Plus the one that you said.
So it's bigger than that building, it's gonna be the second.
it's going to be double the size of that. VA Cancer and Imaging and Infusion Center has started site work and footers. New retail plazas planned for Brimfield Crossings across the street from McDonald's. That would be on the side next to the church. As I have more details on that, I'll share that. Dunkin' Donuts at 152 Talmadge is now approved and waiting to start construction. Plan reviews continue for Discount Drug Mart in front of the elementary school. I think fire approved the lane access and all the turnarounds. So we're good with most of the plan reviews. We're just waiting on ODOT. It's predominantly the holdup, just waiting for that light to be actuated. They plan on starting in October. Jarrett Fleet Systems continue working on their addition. It looked really good. I don't know if you had a chance to go past, but it looks like a whole new building. Hickory Hill subdivision continues selling homes in the development, and phase 2 is now underway with grading and site work. For board approval, I have a couple things here. I'm going to request trustees to accept the resignation of Roy Mosley as alternate to the zoning commission.
Okay, I would like to make that motion to accept the resignation of Chief Commission.
I'll second it.
All in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Next thing I have is a request trustee approval of Robert Radlislovich, if I said that right, as alternate to zoning commission.
Second.
All in favor, Mike? Sue? Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
And then I have one more request, is request trustee approval to send violations at 1645 Sandy Lake Road to Portage County Prosecutor. The photos were in OneDrive, but this is what it typically looks like. There's a hot tub sitting out by the road in the bushes, and then, there's several, just jumping debris all over the Yeah, we sent a ton of letters there, just no reply, no response. So we'd like to get that process going.
I move that we send a violation letter to Portage County Prosecutor for 1645 Sandy Lake Road.
Second.
All in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
And that concludes my report.
All right, just a couple little FYIs. The chip and seal project's supposed to start this week. I just got another thing that's supposed to start tomorrow, but I haven't seen no loose stone ahead signs go up yet, so I wouldn't plan on it, but it could happen. We're doing some ditch work on Sherman Road in preparation of the project. We should be done with our part today. We did some tree cleanup. The bridge work on Sherman Road is completed, but the state asked me to go ahead and chip over their new asphalt. That way it protects it, since we're chipping the road anyway. We were planning on chipping up the bridge anyway, so it's not an added expense. And a thing I didn't have on here, I forgot, ODOT salt prices came in. Morton will be our supplier again this year for $46.45 a ton, which last year was $51.61 a ton, so it's down $5 a ton for this season. So
How much you got left over?
about 600-700 a ton. So we cut our numbers back for what we're ordering this year. So we knocked 600 ton off. So to keep it in the ballpark.
Should we have that added to
We'll do a motion.
the agenda? No motion on it?
It's just the
Mr.
price.
FYI.
It just, we passed for the ODOT thing at the beginning of some spring. So,
At least we're covered.
and other than that, that's my report.
Should we do 800 to 1,000?
We dropped to 800 ton from 1,400.
So we can go to 1,100 or we can drop to 650? Is that what it is?
So 80, it's 80 ton. So you can go to 880 or 720 because it's 10% of what you order.
Okay, thanks. Park and Recs.
Okay, good morning. So first item is community center siding. So that project has started, and just a reminder, that's coming out of the NOPEC funds. And that's going to be a 4 to 5 week project timeline, weather permitting. So the supplies have already been ordered, and it'll take about 3 weeks to get those in, and they're estimating about 1 to 2 weeks for installation. I also included an AI rendering of what the siding will look like. Take that with a grain of salt, because it's a little wonky looking, but that is the color that it will be. So not too different than what we have. I did go against the vertical siding. They did offer the vertical siding, but they said it's not as weather resistant. So that will look very nice. Okay, next item, an update on the Sutton Crossing sign removal and replacement. So because we are in a bit of a time crunch for the driveway project, we'd like to get that done before the end of the season. We discussed it with Sutton Crossings, and they are okay with us just removing the sign for now and revisiting the sign replacement at a later date. So we are going forward with Benner Masonry, and I apologize, that should say removing the sign, not moving the sign. And they will be removing the sign within the next 2 weeks at a cost of $2,400. And then we will revisit replacing the sign in the future. We're going to look at some more affordable options. And then updates on Brimfest. Hannah and I have been hard at work on Brimfest things. I'd like to thank Outfront Media for doing some free promotional items on their billboard on 43 for us. I don't know if you've seen those, but if you're coming into Brimfield from Kent, they've done a series of advertising for us. So that was very nice of them. That will be up through the month of September. And then sponsorships, we have taken in $8,350 in sponsorship funds, including a $500 grant from Celebrate Portage. And we have 20 vendors so far, and I don't think that's accurate because I think I actually got more than that yesterday. So we are probably over 20 vendors. Some park statistics for August. In August, we had 5 programs and 152 engagements. And year to date, we've had 53 programs and 4,832 engagements. And rental totals, in August, we had 60 total rentals, and we took in $1,430. And year to date, we've had 344 rentals and have taken in $10,875. Next item, the town center fields fence. I know I'd gotten a couple questions about that fence, specifically why the one fence had been set back so far from the parking lot. And that was because when we originally drew up those plans, we had included plans for a pavilion. And you should have a copy of those original plans from 2023 in your packet. So that pavilion was meant to go kind of in the middle of where the parking lot is, next to where those handicap spaces are, because I believe the idea was to build a graded sidewalk up to the concrete pad to the pavilion. And then I know there was a question about potentially moving that fence forward. I did get one quote, and of course you can get more, but this was just the one I had ready for the meeting. So we got one quote, and it would be $3,400 if you did want to move that fence closer to the driveway.
I'm gonna make a motion to allow $3,400 to move the fence.
I'll second for discussion.
Yeah, I just think, I went up there and looked at it, and just allow them use space. I mean, sure, maybe someday another board put a shelter up there, but I think in the time being, I mean, we already did take some property from, I think it would help if we would do that. I mean, could we still have that fence? Dave?
I don't know what happened to that fence.
I think it could be around somewhere.
I couldn't tell you. That would be, the contractors want to re-put the fence up.
I just think, I mean, it wouldn't, and if you're down there, I mean, that's not.
I think it's gonna help because if you look at the original drawings with the pavilions, the way the fields were overlaid on that map, the large field would actually encroach into and cover the storage unit. So I couldn't get the full large field there anyways. And the second concern is when they were placed, they're so close back to back that when you got the sidelines going and you got 2 teams, when you got two games going, all these kids are like crowded right next to each other. So moving the fence allows the separation of those fields more, which will make it easier to play. My second concern, and I mentioned it to Holly too, I'll bring it up now, is that I think we need to have 2 exit paths or 3 exit paths out of that fence area instead of a single way in and out. Because when you got games going, you got 12 kids on each team, you got 24 kids there, 24 on the other field, plus all the families, and then you got switch over at the exact hour point. You have a couple hundred here, about 100 to 200 people trying to come in and out of maybe one single point of entry. So I think it's better if we have like 2 or 3 entry points to the parking lot as part of that move.
Yeah, if I can jump in, that quote does include the reinstallation of a 12-foot 6-inch driveway gate, that the gate that was originally on that corner.
So what I'm talking about those, yeah, I would put that back because then you can get the ambulance in for emergencies if something happens in the field. But where the people actually walk up from the parking lot, we really should have like 3 man gates there.
Okay.
Right? So change that from 1 to 3 because that'll allow, because otherwise you're just gonna get like this bunch up of traffic flow.
Sure. Yep, I can get a quote for that.
Couldn't they use the gate? Couldn't the gate be open when the games are, so they could just use the gate and then the other exit?
It could, but here's the reason that we left the gate closed, is the fence, and we thought this would work, and it actually did work. It kept the geese off the field. So if you open that big 12-foot gate and leave it open, I'm afraid the geese are gonna walk back up from the pond and be on the field. So before you were here, we had a problem where the geese were living in the pond across the street, but they ate off of our field, so there was goose poop everywhere. And so kids were slipping and sliding covered in goose poop. It was pretty bad. And so the fence was the only thing that worked that actually kept them off the field. So I wouldn't want to leave that 12-foot open all the time.
So
Oh, I meant just for the games, like during gameplay, for the need of people getting out of there.
I mean,
If the games were going on, couldn't you just open that big gate and then there'd be plenty of space to go
we
out?
just have to make sure we go back up and close the gate
Yeah.
every weekend. I would suggest at least putting a second main gate in.
We were
We have
talking about the shelter.
Yeah, put 2 of them there staggered
How many
apart.
are with
I believe there's just 1 right now. And I think if you have 2, you do the 12-foot gate, then we could open it if we need to. We just gotta make sure we keep it closed because we don't want those geese getting in the habit of coming back.
At least make a second.
Because you just got a lot of people coming and going. It's hectic.
So you talking to somebody to do this relatively soon?
Yeah.
Trying to get open?
Yep.
soon? I mean, I
So
want
then
to,
it actually rolls into a safety factor.
not slip on loose crap.
Oh, not be bad. But I mean, like safety, the central was where everybody had to leave,
You got to prevent their-
it would be a safety issue.
Yeah, you try to get everybody out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah. So do we want to make a motion to exceed that, just to get the thing going?
I mean, she's got everything in the quote except for 1 more main gate. I can't imagine that would be too much more expensive.
$5,000.
So just not to exceed 5,000 so that we can get the project done. So I'll make a motion to amend the motion to change it to 5, not exceed 5,000.
Sounds good. It's like. So, you think they can get it done?
Yeah.
Relatively soon?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay, all in
Wait,
favor?
Go ahead, go over that.
No.
Is that gate up there, I went up there a while so we can get the fireworks people in now? Or is it open now for road test?
No, there's no gate there
Can
yet.
I get them in?
No, they're not gonna carry everything in. So if we can get the fence done before Brimfest, I think would be important because you're saying that they need the truck in.
At least.
I'm gonna have to get a truck into there.
Yeah.
for fireworks.
It seems like you should get it.
It's not gonna mess up the grass, is it?
I haven't looked at it, so is there gravel at all to pull back onto, or no, it's all?
Is that where you set up on the road? The gravel?
They'll set up on the field of the soccer.
Great.
But we put what, your truck sits up there, right? Or their truck?
Yeah, I'm just saying them to put their trailer in with their.
That's why that was part of the reason the access drive was A, to reach the pavilion that was gonna be in the center, but also when vehicles came in, they had a solid parking spot. And I don't know if that got removed or if that gravel's still there. All the way up.
You know, you have all the fireworks going off, what's that gonna do with the grass?
So we haven't had issues with it in the past, other than the cleanup. They don't, like all the shells there, they do a slight cleanup, but there was a lot of debris left.
So we'll need that gate.
About that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they need a gate to access.
Just a thought.
I imagine he'd get it done pretty quickly.
Good. All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
Nancy, just one question, what's our timeline to get some kids back on that field?
We were looking at spring.
Spring?
Yeah, games are underway and fields have already been set for play schedules, so fall's out at this point.
Are they doing okay with fields?
We ended up renting some in Talmadge, but we found able to kind of put it together. And then Field High School is actually letting, I think it's the U15 team, play on the AstroTurf. So they worked out, they're able to work it out for the season.
Okay.
And then we would like to set the date for trick or treat for Saturday, 10/26, from 5 to 7 p.m. I think the last 3 or 4 years, it's always been that Saturday before Halloween.
We've always done 5 to 7, is it 10?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, because I know parents like a little bit of daylight, but then some of the older kids like it was a little darker.
Yeah, we did that, it's probably been 6 or 7 years. We used to do it 4 to 6.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, then we switched to get both.
I'll make the motion, the trick or treat will be Saturday, 10/26, 5 to 7 p.m.
Second.
All in favor, Mike? Yes. Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay, thank you. That concludes my report.
We have an executive
We're getting
session.
executive session.
Okay. More action to the board. There's 5 minutes.
Do you have the executive session for, we gotta read it, just,
This date, 9/4/24, trustee Mike Sessions, Inc., and convene an executive session pursuant to Ohio Revised Code section 131-23G for the purpose of considering the following matters: compensation of a public employee or official.
I will second that motion.
Scale voter, Mike? Yes. Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed from executive session at 8:35.
Okay. We're out of executive session and there's no action.
Need to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
We are adjourned at 9:03 a.m.
Um,